This is Rowena Dooley asking Sol citizens to report for duty.
Hey, greetings everybody. Welcome back to Soul Citizens. I'm GriffinGamingRPG, and we appreciate you being here with us on Sunday, July the 14th, and I'm joined by two of my cool colleagues on my left, on your right, or my right and your left. I don't know which way it is. I've got fastcart. Here's here. What's up, FC? How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Wait, today's July 14th, not July 4th, right?
July 14th. Yeah, halfway through the month.
Great,
halfway through the month.
Okay, good. I didn't miss it. Okay,
yeah,
great.
Good.
I'm doing well, thank you. How about y'all?
Doing good. And also the one and the only, the man who just got out of the shower, Kalrati. How are you, man?
Thanks for breaking the news. Hey, everybody. It's great to be here.
Were you jumping in the shower because it's hot down there? Is that what I'm hearing? Or were you just doing stuff?
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff, actually. So I'm recovering from a cold still. It's very hot. It actually rains, so the humidity is up high.
Yeah.
My mother making some cornbread. This is the first time we're making cornbread. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear you weren't feeling well. FC told me right before we started the show that you weren't feeling well. We were supposed to have Captain Serious Fun on with us tonight, and unfortunately, he is not feeling well. So our thoughts for him. He's been down all weekend, and he came in. Yeah, Griff. I said, go to bed. Go to bed.
Wait, do that again.
Go to bed. Don't even try it. We appreciate the gallant effort, but you need to get some rest. So we gave him a night off so he could chill, because he's been trying to recover, and he's been doing a lot recently. So
I mean, he says he sounds like a combination of a frog and Barry White. I'm thinking like Kermit the Frog and Barry White. I think that's a hell of a combination. You can make some money with that.
But he was really sounding. This was the sick voice. This wasn't the sexy frog voice. It was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was not sounding good. So I appreciate him putting forth the effort, but we want him to get better. So anyway, today we're doing a show called Trailer Evolution. And this is kind of a different show for us. As we've been progressing through the development of Star Citizen, one of the things that we talk about quite often is that there's just so much information about the development of this game that a lot of people just are unaware of. Maybe have never seen, read, heard about. And so Fastcart and I, being like the old dinosaurs in here, and Kalrati kind of being not too far behind us, we decided to go back and show you guys some videos, some of which we know that you've seen. We know that. And as we get further and further into the show, you're going to see more videos that you're familiar with. But there are some that maybe you've never seen before. And so maybe you have, maybe it's been a long time since you've seen them. But today we're going to go through them in progression. We're going to see the evolution visually of Star Citizen's development. So I'll tell you right off the bat, this is all going to be about watching stuff today. We're going to give some commentary here and there, but it's going to be very short commentary. Some of these videos are only 1.5 minutes long. Some of them may run 3-4 minutes. But we have 29 videos. So we're going to see if we get through them all today. We may not. We may only get so far, but we're going to try to do it within the 2-hour time frame that we have and share our thoughts about it. And we're going to be kind of talking about, is what we're seeing, are we starting to see it now? Did we see it a long time ago? Or have we still not seen it after all this time? So we want to tell you now, get yourself something to drink, get you some snacks, because it's going to be one of those times where you can kind of kick back and have some nostalgia. Or if you've never seen these videos before, you'll get to see them for the first time. The very first video we were going to show was the old Squadron 42 video, but we've done that before and you guys have seen that. I'm sure you've seen it. So we're going to jump right into some of the early videos. And I really want to get both Kalrati. I'm going to let Kalrati and fastcart probably talk about this more than I will, just for the time's sake. But we want to take just a short break after each one of them and just highlight something about the videos that we talked about, and then we're just going to progress through. And of course, we'll be looking for what you guys have to say in the chat as well. So we're looking for that, okay? Are you guys ready? Hopefully you guys are
Ready.
Yeah, ready.
I think I'm ready.
All right, ready.
I haven't seen these in a while.
Okay, well, I know it's been a while since we've seen these. I mean, some of these really do go back a while. So let's get you guys all primed up and ready. Okay, that doesn't turn that off, which means I have to do it manually. I figured there'd be one button out of 30 that I didn't program, and it would be the one that I need. Give me 1 second here. Let's shut this one.
Isn't that always how it goes?
Always, right? All right, there we go. All right, everything else is automated, but that one I know we had to do. Okay, so this very first one is called Early Spaceport Concept Art to the 3D Environment Test. This is one of the first way back videos that we saw, okay? Just take a look. There it is. I know you guys are asking where the audio is. That is the audio, so. I'm pretty sure there's no audio to it. Yeah. Now, do you guys remember that ship there?
Yeah. Well, only because I watched the video several years ago, and someone pointed out that was like one of the ships we had never seen in the game since that concept.
Yeah. This was early concept stuff, and I think, was this supposed to be Terra, fastcart, or ArcCorp? Do you remember what it was? I don't really remember. Or was it just some like landing zone?
Or concept or something like that, but yeah.
Yeah. Kalrati, you might want to note the Go-Go Girl red neon on the right side.
Yeah.
Which we've seen deleted. And the old fans and the Hornet.
Yes.
Now, do you think they removed that Go-Go Girl so it didn't come off as too sexist? What do you guys think? Yeah.
I mean, it would have been great for Drake.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to kind of, keep the game open to the females of the game, you wouldn't want to have like the what looks like the strip bar. I don't know, maybe. I don't know what you guys think about that.
It's that kind of planet, Griff. It's just that kind of planet.
All right. Jade says, yeah, it was Terra Prime on Terra. Okay, cool. All right. So this was one of the early videos that we saw. Now, did you guys see this? You guys weren't around when this came out, were you? Were you guys around back then?
I was not around, but I remember seeing this concept, and I remember seeing the video, and I think this was the video that kind of made everyone kind of wish that we'd get rain over ArcCorp at least for a very long time. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's one.
Griff,
yeah.
They're saying that there's static when you speak.
Oh, there is. Oh, that's spooky.
You sound fine on Discord.
Yeah, it sounds great on Discord.
Sounds like Griffin's mic. Am I staticky, guys? Let me know in chat if I'm sounding kind of weird. It might be because I'm facing this way and it might be clipping, so I'll have to make sure I face this way. Does that sound better? Quite a lot. Wow. Okay. All right, I'll have to...
Okay, they take quite a lot.
I'll have to see.
Oh, very static. Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting some type of weird static thing going through on the VU meter on my mic, and I don't know why. Okay, I'll try to minimize mine then. I'll let these guys talk, though, okay? All right. Yeah, it's Griff's mic.
It could be something simple as the wrong input on it, but something happened, like an update.
Yeah, I haven't changed anything. I don't know. All right. Well, I'll try not to talk. We'll let these guys talk then. Okay. All right. Here's our next video. We'll take a look. This one's called "Early Work in Progress." Kalrati, why don't you read them? Because that way I don't have to give them static. The number 2.
Yeah, sure thing. Let me act as though I haven't lost the script.
No worries.
I have it if you want me.
Yeah, just go ahead and read it at fastcart while he's looking. Go ahead, FC.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so a short video of the AI and Star Citizen attacking and defending a Bingo-class carrier demonstrates the intelligent collision avoidance, defense asteroid field, and other spaceships, including a large capital ship, plus offensive and defensive role. Note this is very pre-alpha.
Okay.
And yeah, so this is I'm gonna say what date it is. Or
Yeah, please, yeah, share the date.
It is November 19th, 2012.
Okay. I'm not getting any audio. Hold on a second. There should be audio for this, I think. Hey guys, give us a second here because I think there is audio for this and I don't know why I'm not hearing it. Yeah, I have no idea why we're not getting audio. So let's see if I can do some adjustments here. Give me 1 second, gang. Because audio is crucial.
I can imitate the audio for me.
You're gonna imitate it? That won't. I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work so high. I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do this link by link, which is really gonna be kind of rough here. So give me 1 second, gang. Sorry about this. I don't know why there's no audio on this. It's really strange. I'm gonna have to set up a screen capture and try to do it that way. Alright, gang, bear with. We've got a technical issue here, but we are going to...
This is a name for technical issue.
push through this. We are going to push through it. Alright, let's see if I can get this one here. Copy. Paste.
So, Kalrati, remind me, when did you back the game?
I backed in August of 2014.
August 2000. So you're 2 months ahead of me. Okay.
You know what? Actually, there is no audio with this video.
No, not in this.
That explains
In the
it.
next one there is.
That explains it. Okay, thank you, Kalrati. Okay, I thought maybe it was me. Okay. So let's go back and comment about this video then, guys. Sorry about that. I evidently was thinking that there was different audio with this and I was panicking. I guess I didn't need to. Let's go back and talk about this one then. You want me to run it again? Want me to run it again?
Yes, please.
I can do that. I can do that for you. Alright, there we go. You know, I guess we get so used to there being audio with RSI videos that even I forgot that some of these early ones. I knew the first one didn't have it, but I thought this one did.
Thank you for the description. Oh, yeah,
Thank you, Chooch. All right, so early bingo stuff, like you said, Vandal Scythe, I think. Is that the Scythe? Yeah?
Yeah, it's a
I
side.
believe it, yeah.
Look at the laser bolts. That's pretty...
Look at the laser. I was going to say the same thing. That's reminiscent a combination of Star Wars, combination Battlestar Galactica. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
That was also in Freelancer. Those long laser.
That's what it was?
Yeah. At least for some of the laser weapons that came from the larger battleships.
Mm-hmm.
When you actually saw those, they were slow enough to dodge, but they were very over-exaggerated. Mm-hmm. So you would see these long lines of lasers going across the screen, but it kind of helped to kind of represent some activity in the game, you know?
Yeah.
Especially
I'm glad it didn't stick with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. let me ask you guys a question. Does this stuff look dated to you at this point, or does this look relatively, you could deal with it? Like if this was the game now, what do you think?
Nah.
They look dated to me.
Really?
Yeah, same.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. All right. So we see
Mostly because of the lasers and how slow they are. It doesn't look.
Yeah. Well, you know,
game to me.
that mentions something interesting, though, when you say that, Fastcart, because one of the big discussions that has happened within the community has been in relation to the speed of dogfighting in the game. And even here, the dogfighting speed is not at some super accelerated rate, per se, if you look at it.
It is kind of slow.
It's not like
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
jousting that we had later on in the game. So maybe there's some showing here in the early days. This was closer to what Chris evidently and CIG have talked about wanting for dogfighting in the game.
Yeah, I can see how Chris Roberts may want like a Star Wars feel when it comes to big epic battles and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because if you real quick, if you look at the speed of the weapons versus the speed of the ships, everything seemed proportional enough, because you're able to still get hit by them, but you're also able to dodge them. You're able to, have dogfights in between them. So everything felt based on, the speed relative to each other. Everything's felt like, okay, there was a lot of activity going around you, even though it may have looked pretty slow. And of course, in space, it can be a lot faster. But in terms of feeling, everything was relatively, it had a relatively good pacing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, let's take a look at number 3 here. I know we said that Jade was suggesting earlier that first one might have been the Terra Prime Zone, but this one we definitely know is Terra Prime. Let's take a look at this one. So this may be an expansion of what we saw in the first one, maybe, you think? Like a more updated version of it?
Well,
When I
especially
first-
that red ship that we saw in the first one. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Kalrati.
Yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna say that when I first saw this, it really started to make me think about the possibility of exploration in the game, because this was like, I guess, the first time we saw such a roomy kind of introduction, and all those signs and those the ships staying in one place. So it felt really, really cool and really exciting the first time I saw this.
Mm-hmm. This was the old. Go ahead, Fastcart.
We just ended Cinemass, so that's been in the game forever.
Yeah.
Voyage of the Rack, that's been in the game forever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say this is the old model too, Avatar model that we had for quite a while. The same, we had this same hangar when we got the hangars. We had this model at that time too. You couldn't do anything with this model, and this is just so you guys will know. This is before we got hangars, so this was us just doing exactly what we're doing now in the early days, just watching concept video to give us an idea of what Star Citizen was going to be about.
That's the standard Crytek model, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know. Might be. You may be onto something.
And the irony that they were probably getting 60 FPS.
Matt, it is interesting.
Surprised.
It's interesting to see stuff that they did put in the game that we haven't seen yet, like this place here called Omni. There will be some things that we'll see that we haven't seen yet, and I'm curious to see whether they will turn up later on in the game. A lot of stuff here with ramps more than stairs. I remember when they put stair tech in. Remember when they made it so that you're actually walking up the stairs? That was like a big deal.
Yeah. These early demos really goes to show that the development definitely isn't linear, because some of these things, they didn't have that many moving parts in the demos. So it would have arguably been easier for them to demonstrate these things. But as time went along and as they started adding more and more things, that's when the roller coaster started to become prevalent.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
It was really interesting to see these early working versions.
Absolutely. Thrakensox, thank you so much for that gifted sub to Jade Starwasher. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
I just want to point out, it's not Stair Tech, it's Star Stairs. Make sure you
Of course,
like
that's
that.
yeah, first.
Star Stair Tech, right? Okay. All right, let's take a look at this next one. This is one of the ones that got people really excited, and it was for the Murray Cup, if you guys remember this one.
Some time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I had the volume up so much. I pulled back Prisoner. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah. What were you saying about it, Fastcart?
Oh, I was saying this look kind of. This does not look dated to me. This looks up to date.
Yeah, you know,
it still looks arcadey a bit, but it looks up to date.
But
I can see people playing this today.
Well, if you go on Arena Commander now, it hasn't changed that much. The architecture in the game, the ground area has. But what's interesting to me about this, if you guys remember back then, this was one area where you didn't have a performance issue. I don't remember stuttering through the Murray Cup. I don't remember bad performance or frame rate issues. Even back then, when my rig was kind of moderate, for some reason or other, the Murray Cup always. I mean, it's not a big area, but it's. I just don't ever remember any performance issues. What you're seeing on these trailers was what I remember in the game. I don't know, Kalrati, did you do any racing back then in this area?
Yeah, I did a lot of racing.
Yeah,
me too.
Extensively. And it was one of those things that remained consistent performance-wise. And so much so that, this was one of the main community events, the Murray Cup, from, way back when. I can't remember the group that initiated it, but I remember racing in the tournament. I was the only one using a Cartual. And I came in the semifinals. I even got a free Murray Cup signature Mustang Alpha.
What?
And yeah, but it was really, really good. And I never really had any complaints with respect to the performance. I think maybe from time to time on some PTU builds, but I think this was one of the modes that generally remained consistent performance-wise.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is going back to.
And
I was going to say this goes back to 2014, if I'm not mistaken. This particular video. So, what were you going to say, Fastcart?
I did extensive racing, in 2016, 2017, and I using voice to try to get used to the game and everything. So, one thing I will say, almost over pointed out the music. This is probably the only instance where I probably want to turn down the in-game music because I heard the song so many times. But other than that,
okay, all right. So yeah, that was the Murray Cup, and again, the ships that they showed in there was like the 300i. I don't know if that was the 350 or not, and I think maybe the M50 was the M50 out by this time, or was it just the back then when we were racing?
I want to say so.
Because I didn't capture all the ships that were in that race. Did you guys see exactly what was in that race?
Yeah,
I have to watch it again.
And the 350R.
Was that what we saw in here that were racing against each other? I know that they did that video with what's his name at one point when the M50 came out, and I know that they did that. Yeah, with Jax. But I can't tell what these other ships are, whether they're Mustangs or what that are flying through here. I'm assuming they were a lot of the earlier ships that were racing.
It had to be the Gamma, or maybe the Omega too. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the M50.
That's the M50.
That's
yeah, the M50's there. Yeah. They're so small, it's hard to see what exactly they have out there. They might have had a P52 out there, maybe. Maybe the Merlins maybe were out there.
I don't know if the Merlins are out back there.
The
I don't think the Merlins were out.
350 and the the M50.
Okay, on Merlins, no. Okay, all right. Yeah, there's the 50. I've got the video up in Discord now, Kalrati, too. Sorry.
Okay,
all right. Well, anyway, that's that. The Murray Cup. Let's see. After that, we have this next video is a little bit longer video. This was the first time we saw the Persistent Universe demo, and let's take a look at this one. By the way, that lag is in the game. That was not the video.
Yeah. That ain't us.
The lag was real.
Hey, they're trying to give us some realism in here for what the game experience is like, right?
Yeah. Now, for people who don't know, this is the example of how we were supposed to approach planets back in the day. This is when you couldn't land on your own. You would have to come to the planet and call to land. But this was the demonstration video, and what they're doing during this demonstration was showing us how they were able to get out of the chair and walk around while the ship was rotating. Now, you guys don't hear it, but when they did this demonstration, the room went crazy. Everybody screamed like mad.
Wow.
That's the old
Yeah, I was
Connie.
just going to say that. Back then, this was a big deal. People were really excited to have all this.
Yeah.
But getting out, I mean, people were used to, like, Starfighter and Star Wars and TIE Fighter and stuff like that. Or freelancer, you're just sitting in the ship most of the time. But actually getting up and exploring the ship, a lot of people couldn't wait. Matter of fact, this video, the Citizen Con video 2014, this is what made me a backer.
Yeah, this blew people's minds. The whole multi-crew, like fastcart said, the getting up and walking around. We've gotten so used to this now that it's not a big deal, but this was a technological feat for a bunch of different people to be on different computers and play together and walk around on somebody else's ship was just mind-blowing back then.
Corp Tower, this is commercial vessel Calypso requesting EDL assistance.
So when you guys hear that EDL stuff, that's what they're talking about when you guys come in now. This was you requesting to land, and you would be brought in an automated way. All you had to do was sit back and watch. And we were excited for that. We weren't upset about it. We thought this was the coolest thing.
I mean, it was giving us things that no other games would give it to the time, or even now, matter of fact. So, well, that's not true. I guess some games do it now, but back then,
Back then, oh yeah. I mean, just the cinematic here was mind-blowing to see this coming into Area 18. This was the the earlier version of Area 18, y'all, if y'all want to see, if you've never seen this before. So you'd be sitting in your chair, you could use your mouse to look around, but that was all you did.
Some people now would say this is on rails, we don't like it, but back then, this is great.
Yeah, Flero, I guess you could say it was like Starfield in the sense of coming in and landing an automated way. This is exactly to your point, like how Starfield is. And then once you landed, you would regain control and you can get up and walk around. But this was the way you were supposed to come in before we were able to do it ourselves.
Yeah, because
Now I have a question for y'all. If you had to do that every time you wanted to land, how soon would you get tired of that?
People don't get tired with it in Starfield. It's the standard. Yeah, people don't get tired. I mean, they want to be able to do more, but it's just a landing sequence,
So the irony behind that answer, Griff, is because when we did this in Freelancer, they got to a point that because of how often we had to do, and it's personally and a couple others when I was in the guild when we were playing the modded version sometimes in the early days of the modded for freelancer, we used to just press escape to skip it.
Yeah. Yeah. You get tired of watching the sequence. Yeah. This was the other thing. People would come out to your ship and do their little routine, the NPCs, and start unloading you or whatever. But that was the idea back in the day. And you guys can definitely see that a lot has changed in both the Connie and Area 18. I can't tell you how many times we all dreamed of walking in and out of these doors at Area 18. Or how many times we tried to break through the doors, if nothing.
Some people got through.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got through. I got out on the pad a few times. I've got some video. Okay. Oh, I've got some video of being out there, and it's funny because you get disappointed because when you go out there and you walk on the backside of the Connie, there's nothing there. There's no graphics. It was all designed just to be seen from the front, you know. So it's kind of disappointing.
By this time we had the Arena Commander, but this is our first look into the social module.
Yes.
Whatever it's going to be called.
Yeah.
So.
And that's a good point, Fastcart, to mention that. At this point, we had the hangar module, and this was the introduction or letting us know about the social module. Area 18 was not an Area 18. It was just this small section in the early days that you went to. And this is basically what you would do. You would walk through a security area. In the original demonstration, you actually see a scanner, which is in the game now, that scans you to make sure you're not carrying any contraband or weapons. You'd have to turn that stuff in at this location here. Then you could go into Area 18. Now, they've made it much more expansive and elaborate. There's the scanner there. See? Just scan them, make sure he doesn't have any contraband or anything. Then you go into Area 18.
Now, if they actually implemented it, I would probably feel a lot safer on the planet.
Yeah, but they've also talked about the fact that they want to make sure that there are ways for people to sneak in and bring in stuff into it too. It may just have to do a little extra work to do it, but it can happen. This is one of the things I do miss. Remember when you used to look up into the skies at Area 18, you'd see ships flying around and stuff? I miss that.
Yeah.
You know? It made the city feel a bit alive. Yeah.
This is the scene right here right now. So, yeah.
That's an early version of Dumper's Depot.
Thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
2014.
We didn't have any NPC activity, I don't think, back then either. It was just the players.
People at the landing platform now.
Yeah, just the players were in it. But you guys now know how long that... Go ahead.
There was a whole lot of buggy crashing when it came out.
No standing on chairs.
Yes, there was no standing on chairs at this time, right? There was an indoor and an outdoor to this area, and that was it. And there was the hospital was there, the gun shop was there, the Dumper's Depot was there, and the bar was there, and the ship store was there. Kasaba wasn't open yet.
Jade, you missed the buggies. Oh, those were some fun times.
Oh, yeah.
But I love the air traffic in the sky. That's something that threw us back to the idea of like Coruscant in Star Wars with the constant traffic going overhead.
The irony that the clouds as a backdrop, well, the clouds that we have now look just as good, if not better, than the backdrop that we had back then. Now.
Very true. You guys can see that the stuttering you're seeing is the actual stuttering in the game. Again, it's not the video that's doing that. But we were impressed just with this little bit of something.
Oh, yeah.
This got us excited seeing this this part of us moving forward.
Can you imagine all the air crashes that would happen if they would try to implement that traffic in the game now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there'd be problems.
Maybe they could implement it if they would have those landing lights on the HUD. They would follow, but people wouldn't follow them.
No. They are actually going to do that. I hate to tell you that. That is going to be a part of landing at populated areas where you will call to get clearance to land, and you'll have to go into a specific hangar with a flight path. Once they introduce NPC flight, it is coming. Again, every
version of landing splines.
Yep, exactly. A better version of the splines. And I know that drives people crazy to think about
That's
it,
what
but
I meant, yeah.
you don't do that in real life. You don't fly in just any old way when you fly into any place
Yeah.
now. I'm surprised we haven't had more crashes, to be honest with you.
Situational awareness is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a cool shot.
Yeah.
Come on, no. Hey, welcome to Dumper's Depot. Take a look around. Everything's for sale.
And you can still see some reminiscence of things that are still in the game now and things that have changed.
I remember trying so hard to jump over that railing.
Jump over the I know I did once. I did that and got back there finally, and once again disappointed. Only half of a Hornet back there. It was disappointing, you know.
Oh, wow.
It took a lot to glitch
Oh,
through,
yeah.
but I did glitch through it.
Yeah, for people who don't know, the constellation that landed when you hopped in and looked at it, it was only a half there. It wasn't even filled in. You just saw like
Yep.
the outside half, and that's about it.
Yep. Now, mind you, the reason why this seems like it's going on long, guys, is that this was actually the demo that they cut later. The original was during a live presentation. So Chris is talking right now, normally describing what he's seeing and what people are saying. This is the first time we saw these areas in a presentation. I think this was done during Gamescom, maybe. Do you remember fastcart? Oh, no, it was CitizenCon 2014.
CitizenCon 2014.
2014 CitizenCon. So this was 10 years ago. Okay.
Dang, when you put it that way.
Yeah, I know.
old.
Makes you feel old, right? I know. This next one, I don't know. Let's see if we're going to see. This is Arena Commander 1.0 trailer. Let's see what this is. Oh, no. Yeah, that's what this is. Now, some of you guys may not remember this. Do you remember this, guys?
I remember
Before,
this.
but it's been a while.
I remember this because this was the first time I bought a joystick. So I bought a Master 3D Pro. I think that's the name of it. And I was really excited to try a joystick for the very first time. And I saw this trailer, and it was just super
What
exciting.
joystick did you get? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, it was the Logitech 3D Pro. I think that's what it's called, 3DX Pro, or 3D Pro, one of those things. And yeah, I got it in January 2015. It was infuriating because it was my first time using a joystick. But this trailer got me really excited.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things about this trailer is that this is we had a hanger module, so some ships were hangar ready. When Arena Commander came out, the ship became flight ready.
In Arena Commander, just so you guys will know, I mean, this was flight model stuff back then that we dealt with. Way back then. This changing and fixing and rearranging of the flight model has been something that's happened over and over again with the development of Star Citizen. But the fact that they gave us those 3 environments, the different areas to go to, made it exciting, and it was a way for us to practice in the game. When we had the hangars, we used to get inside of the, what do they call those things? The hollow, what do they call those things we get in?
Oh,
Oh
wow, it's a little.
Can't think of what they call them now. No. The thing you get in, the
pod.
The pods.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get in the pod.
Yeah.
And you'd go in the pod, and the pod could take you into Arena Commander. It wasn't until later that they made Arena Commander its own thing in the launcher. You used to go in through that pod. Thank you, Cap, the sim pods. And we would do that back in the day. Yeah, so, yep. Alrighty, let's move on. We got plenty of videos to go to. We're on number 6 of, we got 23 more to go. Okay. Let's take a look at this next one. Now, this is when we start getting into the alphas. And we're going to go back now. As you guys know, we're on, what are we on? 23.3 right now. Is that right? 23.2? Yeah, we're on 23.2.
323.
We're going to take you guys all the way back and let you see what Alpha 2.5 was like. Alpha 2.5.
Now, for people who want the date, this is August 25th, 2016. Oh no, the Starfare.
Oh boy, the server killer.
I forgot that the Reliant goes back that far. Wow.
Yeah, I actually don't remember the line being that old.
But it caught you all too.
Oh yeah. I love my car tool.
Playable now.
Yeah. So just so you guys will know how far back playable now goes to. Just to cover some quick things here, highlights. You guys got any highlights in this that you guys spotted?
Yeah, the hold on, let me bring up my notes real quick. I like that version of the cartography map because we don't have that in the game now, but it was like at the beginning of the video. Yeah, that cartography map looked pretty cool. I wish we had that.
Mm-hmm. Thing I'll point out is the Starfare. The reason why you saw the Starfare so much was at that time it was being introduced and it was the biggest ship in the game. I think we all chuckled when we saw the Starfare because we also remember when they introduced the Starfare, you would crash out the system. Or if you didn't crash it, the performance would drop like a rock. I mean, you'd be at Grimhex and you knew when someone spawned a Starfare. It literally affected the game. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Kalrati, what about you? Anything in here you recognize or just remember and throw back?
Yeah, I just remember the activity with Korea. That was a time when things became, was really active around there, and we didn't have a lot of missions at Korea, but it was just such a concentrated point.
Yeah.
That it was just a whole lot of fun. To just be there and just do a lot of FPS.
Try to hold it. Yeah. People would try to hold it. Remember, they had the gun racks in there and the ammo and grenades, and people would try to hold the place down as long as you could. It's a big difference here. But again, seeing that Reliant kind of messes with my head a little bit. I didn't think that ship went back that far. It means it's been around a long time. Wow. Okay.
Back then, this was called Baby PU.
Yeah. That's true. Even the Car2All back then, I forgot that was around back then. That's an
old ship, like I said.
You said 2015 fastcart? You said 2015?
2016.
2016? Okay, so it's 8 years. Okay, so 8 years. Yeah. Okay, I'll buy that for $1. Okay. All right, let's move on past Alpha 2.5. Let's take you guys to 2.6. 48 ships.
Yeah, I went from 15 to 48. Wow. I'm 15 from Marine Commander. Oh, P-52?
Oh, I actually forgot this, the customization options in Arena Commander with the notes.
Yeah.
So we're going from August 2016 to December 2016. And this was released just before Christmas.
Yeah, this was the patch that killed my video card because I was testing 2.6 Star Marine and for Christmas, and I had no video card to play any game for Christmas. It's literally just after I got a new video card though.
I remember this, getting the 2 new stations.
Yeah.
Oh, remember that? Getting shot outside of Grimhex all the time. That part was real. All right.
Some things never change.
Yeah.
They'd be right there in front of the airlock waiting for you. I literally jumped one time and 3 people lit me up.
Yeah. Is there anything else, FC, you want to highlight about this one?
I think this is the introduction of Star Marine because you saw the Star Marine thing right in a bit. So yeah, this is Star Marine in 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I forgot it was that old.
I think also if you look at the beginning of this here, this was the introduction of those hero series of ships. They introduced your heart. What's it called? The Seeker, the Heart Seeker here, or the Wildfire. I'm sorry, the Wildfire rather. The Wildfire, the Valiant one.
Oh.
There's the Avenger version.
Comet.
In the Comet, yep. Those 4 hero ships that they put in lore got introduced during this time frame. And like you said, fastcart, they have increased the ships since we saw a couple patches back before here. So we're at 48 vessels. Introduced some missions. I don't know if what else did they do? This wasn't Hurston or anything, so this must have been just when we had Cryastro.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
One thing I do remember, this was just before, this was really just before Christmas, and they had some issues, so the tech and the devs had to stay over. They worked hard over the course of a week to get everything properly working. So thanks to them.
Okay. All right. Let's take on a couple more before we take our break here. Let's go to the more infamous. That was 2.6. And for you guys who don't know, this was also a period where there was a big gap for CIG, and this was also the year of when we dealt with the CitizenCon in Los Angeles that year, and so when we were at CitizenCon, Chris Roberts made a presentation outlining what was to be expected for 3.0 and what was going to be in that series, and so the next trailer that you're going to see is the introduction leading into 3.0. Let's take a look at that.
Oh, great. There's a little bit of static coming out from your mic again.
Still? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Just to let people know, this is January 2018.
Oh, yeah, I remember this one.
it's still pretty cool. I have to say.
I always love this part.
Yeah.
Now, to me, this feels like the beginning of the modern day thrillers that we've seen come to know and love from Star Citizen. Because before then, it was mostly like gameplay, but this feels more cinematic. Was that the first time you were able to clear a box?
Yep.
Yeah.
After many years of grabby hands, yes.
Crappy hands, I forgot about that.
Ah, Knox.
Introduction of the moons. Daymar.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to say is that like a minute before this, you could see the sun moving, so across the sky.
Mm-hmm. For those of you who don't know where Delamar is, that's where we oh my god, we used to have Levski. Took it away.
Jade's going crazy right now.
They took it away. They took it away. I will admit, Levski had its own ambiance that was very nice.
Definitely, yeah.
We just started playing solo thing up there, and I think that CIG was trying to set some expectations, but yeah, I think the players went on crazy when they saw that. Imagination-wise.
And this is one of the things that, you know, I think that when people ask us, what do we think about 4.0 coming in, what's going to be in it? If we go by what CIG has done in the past and what normally happens with the evolution of development, when you go from a 3 point something to a 4 point something, it's usually substantial. It's not just, you know, flash in the pan. It's usually technology. It's usually features. So there's a lot that we're looking forward to seeing come out in 4.0. I know server meshing's been talked about in Pyro, but if you look at how much stuff they're showing us here in 3.0, you're seeing it's like a cross section of things that have been updated, changed, or either brand new things that have been added.
Yeah, because so many things changed between 2.0 and the introduction of 3.0 and the moons. We had the UI I think this is when, or a little time before, the visualization, the visual stabilization came online also, because before then it was really, really shaky. It even made some people super nauseous.
Yeah.
Then of course we had the items and
Yep.
so many new things.
Yep. We got our first NPC mission giver there with Eckert.
Well,
Eckert. No. I mean in the game. In the game, Eckert.
in the game. Okay.
Yeah. I forgot the trade terminals used to be there in Port Olisar. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. We had to go there to hand off our boxes as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy that Disco Man was finally able to cut his beard, shave his beard. 'Cause
Oh yeah.
he made a mistake of saying he won't shave his beard until 3.0. This was back in, I want to say June of 27. Yeah, the year before.
Yeah. It was the year before. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because 2.16 was December of 2016. This is January 2018.
2.6. Yeah.
2.6. Yeah. Sorry. He shouldn't cut his hair till 4.0. Don't do that to him, Jay. Don't do that to him.
And believe it or not, this video is 8 minutes long. So again, there's a lot here that they're showing that when they went to 3.0.
How smooth was the launch for 3.0? It wasn't that smooth. Like, it took a while, like a few passes for everything to smooth out.
Yeah, but I mean that I don't remember it being any different than any other patch where we always got bumps in the road.
Well, people always compare 3.18 to 3.0. Yeah.
Oh no. 3.18. I don't know why people don't get me started on 3.18. Don't get me started on that. Yeah, that was an entirely different. That was an entirely different situation with 3.18. Okay, let's take a quick commercial break because that one puts us right at the top of the hour. We're gonna go ahead after this. We're gonna start getting into a few more. There's like maybe one more video that we've got to show you guys from that period. Is for the persistent universe, and then after that, we're gonna start hitting like from 3.6 all the way to 3.23, which are all the playable now. Which we can talk about that whole comment later when we come back. We'll talk about playable now. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we're gonna be right back, gang. Okay. Okie dokie. Hey, for those of you who are here, if you're not seeing a commercial, that means you're probably a subscriber. So we want to say thank you for the support that you continually give to us each week. We've been, I'm sorry Captain Serious Fun isn't here with us today because he was the one that suggested this idea and he was really looking forward to participating in this and having a little bit of nostalgia and talking about the progression of Star Citizen over the years, but we're going to try to do it ourselves a little bit. But I know he was really excited about it. But thanks guys for being here with us. And you guys got anything you want to say to our loyal fans?
I could try to do a Captain Serious Fun imitation. Greetings and salutations. No, I don't have the voice for it, so it doesn't go as well. Sorry.
It's okay. The sentiment's there. The sentiment is there. All right, we got 5 seconds to go, and then we're going to be back. 3, 2, 1, boom. And we are back. We're back. Hope you guys enjoyed that commercial, whatever it was. I don't know what it was, but hopefully you enjoyed it. All right, as we mentioned, we have, for those of you who just got here a little bit, we're doing a show called Trailer Evolutions, showing the development evolution of Star Citizen through the trailers that they put out. We did some real early stuff from concept videos and stuff back in the early days, going all the way back to 2013. AI, early work in progress, WIP videos and stuff. But now we're starting to get into the stuff that's probably a little bit more familiar to most of you. We just got finished watching the trailer for Alpha 3.0. Which was around what period? Fastcart was that 2017 roughly?
January 2018.
2018. Okay, so we're going to kind of be picking up things from that point forward. You know, I know we talked about this statement, and we've had this on some of our other shows, guys, where we've talked about that term "playable now." How do you feel about playable now? There's, you know, I've had a certain sentiment about the statement of Star Citizen is a game, and I do believe it's a game. But I don't always believe it is a game in the definition of what gamers call a game. But I do think it, from a technical standpoint, it is a game. It may not be a completed game, but it's a game. Do you think playable now was said too early? Do you think that it should be, if it's said, it should be said with some, phrases and other things that should go along with it? Because you got to get people to come in and play it.
Yeah.
What do you think, guys?
So I think they wanted to use that term to, just like you said, invite more people to come along and play it, with the hope that they would, do their preliminary research to understand that it's an alpha. It is said testable now. It's a matter of wondering, okay, whether or not it would have had the same pull.
Mm-hmm.
Because words have power, even just changing from playable to testable. So maybe that's the takeaway, that they kind of had the confidence that persons will do their own preliminary research and know that it's an alpha, but know or understand CIG's definition of playable now versus what the general definition of playable now really is.
Yeah. I wonder, Fastcart, let me ask you a question. I wonder about the marketing side versus the legal side. I'm sure that their legal people had to look at using certain terminology from a marketing standpoint to make sure that there was not a quote unquote deceptive practice type of thing going on. So my assumption is that as a company corporation, they would have done that regardless of how we feel about it. And I know we do feel a certain kind of way about it. I mean, do you think that's what gives them the license? I mean, because evidently nobody has went and tried to file a lawsuit and say, hey, the game isn't playable now. You know what I mean?
Well, we probably haven't heard about it, but I would imagine someone thought about it. But yeah, I guess they had people look into it and said, or maybe they're expecting, because this was like 2018. I'm sorry, 2018,
Mm-hmm.
2018, and before when they were putting out, so they were probably expecting to get the game out sooner.
Mm-hmm.
They were not expecting it to take as long as it did for the game to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably wanted more people to come in and try it and get more data from the people who are coming in to play it. So I can see why they did it, but I do think it was too soon. Cause like 2015, 2016, 2018. Even 2018 was probably too early, in my opinion, to say playable now. But that's just how I feel about it.
So do you guys think that there's if they were to say it differently, what would you suggest they would have said? Like, would it have been like a test it today? What do you think would have been the phrase that would have still drawn people in? Because let's face it, gamers want to hear about playing the game, right? I mean, do they want to hear about testing a game?
Me personally, I would be okay if they had said available now. Available now.
Available now for play.
Sometimes it's always available, but sometimes it's not always playable.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just me.
Almost almost says get addicted now. That's what they should have said. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing of semantics, and there's a legal side of it and a marketing side of it, and then there's the side that gamers understand. I'm still not completely convinced that most of us understood what alpha meant back in the day. I think we kind of have an idea of what early access means, and we have a pretty good idea of what beta means, but I still think that when you say alpha 3.0 or alpha, I mean, and not to be funny, it does say alpha in front of it. That says something. Right there. I mean, that's the first word that's there. That's before playable. I mean, is it the fact that we're ignoring alpha? Is that what it is? Are gamers ignoring alpha?
I've been saying it for quite a while, Griffin. I think people see Star Citizen Alpha, they think that's the name of the game. It's not the state of the game.
But Fastcart, it doesn't say no. Fastcart, when you read it, it doesn't read Star Citizen Alpha 3.0. It says Star Citizen Alpha 3.0. I mean, that's grammatical. I get what you're saying, but I never see those three words associated with each other.
You're asking gamers to read. That's the thing, Griffin.
I don't know. Or maybe
understand what they're reading.
All right. Coffee says he thinks it's Star Citizen Alpha. Maybe people do. I don't know. Maybe people didn't finish high school. I don't know. To me, I never read it that way. I'm sorry. I never read it that way, but maybe that was the case.
I mean, I never read it that way either, only because I started in 2014. But when they started putting it together, it was like, because I think I might have gotten it from Afterpub or someone else. But you say, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I've been running with it ever since.
Maybe it makes sense, but are we? I mean, are people losing critical thinking skills? I'm not trying to be funny. If the term beta is there, I'm going to think that alpha means something.
You have to finish that sentence, Griffin. Yes.
Okay, never mind. Okay, maybe it's me. Okay, all right, we're gonna go ahead and pick up with some more video here. Okay, we let you guys see the 2014 Persistent Universe demo. Now we're going to jump 4 years later and take a look at one that was in 2018's Persistent Universe trailer. Okay, so this is kind of a leap ahead here, so we can take a look at that one.
I just want to say they were bringing the audio game, seriously bringing the audio game up in that video.
Okay, now I want to ask you guys a question here. Around this time was when I started hearing people say things like, that's not in the game. You can't do that in the game. Whenever I saw these trailers, particularly after going to CitizenCon, whenever I saw something that CIG showed us, I personally always saw it as, this is where we want to go. I didn't ever look at things as this is where we are. Maybe it's because I would go to CitizenCon, but then I'd leave CitizenCon and come back to the game that I knew it wasn't there. So maybe in my head, I always saw it as, okay, they're giving us an idea of what they want to do eventually. But other people felt that this was bait and switch.
False advertising.
Yeah. It was, the guy behind the counter there, the gun weapons guy, he's not behind the counter giving you your weapon. The Idris, the captain who's walking, that's not in the game. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? I mean, because the game, in many cases, the elements are in the game. Sure, the Reclaimer was in the game, but were people flying ships into it and crashing into it and blowing up? And, I mean, or was it the fact that they're saying this is what you can do, but players weren't doing it? Or was it that players wanted to do it and were unable to do it? I don't know. What do you guys think?
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So I think it was a measure of everyone having different levels of tolerance. And of course, it would have been also connected to the time at which everyone would have, or different persons would have entered the game. Before this, we would have, of course, had the whole No Man's Sky thing. Some persons would have experienced that whole feeling of, I don't know if the word deceit is the right term. Maybe it's a bit hard, but different persons would have received that in different ways, right? Because it's human nature. Not all of us would be the same. And as a result of that, I think they would have been, of course, persons who would have been okay, would have understood the definition of the actual videos, and then other persons would have been, not tolerant of it. And of course, it would have gone along a very, very just continuous band of different personalities clashing with whatever that they were seeing in the video itself. So as a result, we would always see this kind of back and forth disagreements, agreements going back and forth, and there would never be a period or a point of generalized acceptance. So I think this is why they would have been, some persons would have been okay with it, would have understood, the assignment of the video, and knowing that, okay, some of these things you cannot do in the game, but this is the goal of where we're going toward. And then there would have been other persons saying, okay, I've seen trailers like these before from other games. I'm not going to fall for it.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, I coming at it a slightly different way. Like as we said before, I came in 2014, so I understood that Chris Roberts is very aspirational when it comes to certain things, and the video seems to represent that or some of that. So, like that, people, Jade is talking in chat saying capital 6 at the end aren't in the game. Alt Corp didn't come until 3.5. So yeah, but coming in from 2014 to, and this is 2018, I believe, I was more understanding. But if I were to come in like in 2020 and see some of this stuff, I would expect, not knowing anything about the game, I would expect to see everything that's in the trailer to be in the game. But yeah, since I'm an earlier backer, I understood what this meant. So, but since then, they have done better, and we're going to come to representing what's in the game as and showing in the trailer as being less aspirational and more, I guess, realistic as far as gameplay wise.
Yeah. So, do you guys feel that CIG really walks a tightrope or pushes the line? Because to Jade's point, she's saying, well, in 3.2323, the capital ships weren't in. Well, technically, they're not in now from a sense of us owning them and running them, right? But I get what you're saying. They are, at least they do show up in the game. But they showed elements of Squadron 42 in here, too. Now, the difference in this particular trailer, though, the title of this is the 2018 Persistent Universe trailer. Trailers usually mean things to come. Doesn't necessarily mean that's what's here right now. In other words, the other ones were titled 3.23, 3.0, alpha, blah, 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 blah. This one wasn't. This one was a trailer showing off the Persistent Universe. Now, I'm not saying that it's not saying, oh, this is what's there now. I'm just saying it does have a different title to it. And the fact that they incorporated Squadron 42 stuff in here, which we know was not in here. We saw that Admiral, whoever walking on the deck of the frickin' Javelin or whatever. I mean, that's not in the game. It's still projected to me as things to come. And they ask, will you be ready? And they ask, will you be ready? So I'm not saying no. I'm just saying, are they pushing the edge of what is reality and vision? Where some people feel like they've crossed the line, that, you guys are, you're showing it like as if it's, you're deliberately showing it to get people to come in, versus like people like me and you who say, when these things come out, we already know the game and we realize, okay, that's what they want to get it to. It's busted, it's broken, but eventually it'll get there. I don't know. Maybe I'm overanalyzing. I don't know.
When you say like a trailer shows what's coming, I mentally I put that more with a movie trailer rather than a video game trailer. Because when I see a video game trailer, I'm expecting, unless it says, unless you know it's a cinematic, I'm expecting it to be gameplay, especially when it says in engine and stuff like that. But so, seeing this trailer and knowing that it has Squadron 42 and so it's mixed up, but hearing it say Persistent Universe, yeah, that is iffy for me, because Yes, eventually we'll get there, but putting it out in 2018, I think most people would probably expect it sooner than like coming out in 2020 or 2019.
Yeah,
My opinion.
Yeah. And they mentioned for 3.2, I think they mentioned at the end here. So that's why I said it's like it's projecting in the future, even though a lot of it still didn't get delivered in 3.2, you know. Okay. I'm just curious. All right, we're going to jump ahead now, gang. We're going to go from 3.0, 3.2 to getting ready to get into these playable now videos that we talked about. So this is going to be picking up at 3.6.
What am I most excited about 3?
By the way, fastcart, notice it says, what does it say at the beginning of that video? Let me go back. Let me go back, and I want you to see. I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna pause it just for you only. Okay, hang on, where is it at? I gotta make sure I push the right button here. Hold on. 3.6.
3.6 freaking lost systems, bro.
It's just gonna make the game, I think, feel.
See that? What does it say?
Come on now, Alpha 3.6.
Not Star Citizen Alpha 3.6. It says Alpha 3.6. Okay, I just want you to see that. Okay.
Come on now, Alpha.
What am I most excited about 3.6 freaking lost systems, bro.
It's just gonna make the game, I think, feel a lot more like it's tying all the pieces together.
We now have jurisdictions. We've got new locations in there where you take a stolen ship to be chopped up.
It's not the Wild West anymore, and you're able to have repercussions for your consequences, for your actions, whatever that was.
How about Law and Order?
Is that a ship? I love Law and Order. It's a really good show.
I want to tell you about something because it's really cool.
Black market. Oh, black market stuff.
Through the time investment and just collecting boxes of stolen stuff from other players.
Things like drugs now suddenly make a lot of sense where we can crank up the profitability of them.
My favorite ship in 3.6 is the Archimedes because that name is awesome.
And it's kind of that arc back to kind of Battlestar, launching the fighters, that sort of kind of idea.
Important feature coming to the game is the hover mode, and I really look forward to that.
Really showcases what like atmospheric flight can be, and it has this like effect of making the
poor Yogi
atmospheric flight super believable and interesting.
We're making a few additions to the comms behavior in the game and group behavior. This is awesome. It brings back all kinds of like real classic sci-fi kind of tropes and interactions. So this is something I'm excited about. I think the coolest addition to 3.6 has got to be the ship kiosk.
I think it's cool that you can earn almost any ship.
The rework of the Vanguard is cool because the concept image is actually being brought back to life. Have you seen the new space station exteriors? Yes, they're cool. The grandness of their scale and that variety of exteriors that they've got going.
Improve the diversity and shape of our space stations throughout the game.
It doesn't look like a copy and paste of one station to another.
They feel bigger, they feel more substantial.
It's kind of just hardcore sci-fi vibe that you get from them.
We need more stuff like that in the game.
Okay. Go to you, Kalrati, first this time. Any observations on this one?
Those stations, those were the first things that I actually noticed, at least when I left the landing zones.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to the first station, I remember, okay, I had to make like a music video out of this, and I did because it was super cool because we went from, you know, the smaller rest stops to those larger structures, and of course the interiors were the same. But it was really interesting to see just how much we were expanding, and it made me think more about, okay, how much activity they're going to plug into these larger structures. And we're seeing more, of course, with Pyro and as the persistent hangars come online and those things. And but yeah, so that was one of the main things that really stuck out to me.
Yeah. Okay. Axis, by the way, thank you so much for the sub. We really appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you. FC, how about you? Anything stand out to you?
I've never seen any of those developers in the game. That's false advertising. Like Ben Curtis, never seen them in the game. The representation. No, I'm kidding. Yes, I tweeted out. This is July 19, 2019. So like a 18 months after 3.0. So just to give people a time scale. But yeah, not much can say about this. I remember this, but yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they're trying to give the developers more of a space time when it comes to these things. People, Discoland has always been a proponent of making developers more human. So yeah, I think this is a good idea. But I preferred more the typical trailer when it comes to game cinematics and in-engine stuff.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch the balance between what is game features versus what is game updates, and I try to keep an eye on that too, seeing what's being introduced, both on a technical side as well as an aesthetic side to the game. And Kalrati, to your point, the coming in with the uniqueness of the stations was one thing. Right now, we see the stations and think they're copy and paste on the inside or even the exteriors to them. But that's just in this one particular system. When we went to Pyro, we saw that there was variation that popped up there. But even then, there's still some repetitiveness when it comes down to the interiors. But it takes a lot of work to come up with unique interiors. And I know CIG has shown us they have the ability to create that. So I think it's just something that we just have to wait on. But I think they're going to get there. I was a little bit pumped about the Archimedes because I love the Archimedes, but yeah, that was some false hype. It's just like nobody's flying around in their Archimedes, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it was like they tried to sell it off as the Archimedes, you know. But
always attached to the Phoenix.
Yeah,
never detached from it.
Yeah, no, I fly mine. You know, I will fly mine, but I just thought it was interesting that they made it sound like it was a really big thing, you know. But it was just one of those things that was being added to the game, you know, beyond the P-52. So understandably, they have to throw something in there for it. But yeah, okay, so that's 2.6, right? 3.6? 3.6. All right, let's take a look at 3.7.
Star Citizen is an ever-expanding universe, but now we're also going beneath the surface by adding a completely new, unique location, which is caves.
FPS mining in 3.7 is the most lucrative business by far. Discover deposits and mine them. If you don't bring protection, expect some risks and you might die and not make it out alive.
With mission sharing, you'll be able to take on harder missions with your friends. That means there'll be more rewards such as loot or maybe even reputation that you can share together.
Players can already earn ships in the game.
With the addition of ship rentals, this will allow the players to try out different professions and explore what suits their game style.
With the new quantum enforcement feature, players will be able to pull others out of quantum travel, at the same time preventing them from escaping into it.
With the Banu Defender, we're introducing the first ship of a brand new alien species, which is exciting because it'll be the first time we get a really good look at what the Banu actually look like and where they live. And it looks awesome.
So with 3.7, new players will start seeing the glimpses of what we're trying to do.
So see you in the verse.
Alrighty.
Griffin, do me a favor. Can you pause at 3 seconds into the video, please? You did it to me. So what do you see on the screen?
Star Citizen Space Alpha 3.7. Yes, I do see that. With a big space between Citizen and Alpha. Like I said, people's grammar. I don't know what's going on with that. But that is not one long line. But go ahead.
It's together though. It is in one line.
If you look at that, if you look at it, there's a space between it. Thank you very much. So go ahead, Fastcart. What have you got here in this one that stands out for you?
You got the Defender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, the first foray into this the alien ship, and you got the interdictor. I guess you call it interdictor. Trying to maintain it in that ship. So yeah, this was October 11th, 2019. So a few months after 2.6, obviously, but you know, around CitizenCon actually.
Yeah. Okay. Kalrati, how about you? Anything stand out?
Yeah, those caves. As soon as I entered one cave, I was stuck there for 40 minutes.
Wow.
And I did not get out. It was the first time I actually started to feel really flustered in the game. And I just altered forward because it was a little too scary for me. But I loved it. I loved it because the last time I felt that way was when we had the Starfarer. It was like a discovery kind of mission, one of the rec missions in the earlier patches, and I didn't really feel that sense of suspense in a very long time. So when I entered the caves for the first time, it brought back that kind of feeling and a little bit more. Because I wasn't responsible, I didn't leave flares around, so I didn't hug the walls. So I was literally lost there, and it felt really good ultimately.
Yeah, I like the caves definitely. Fastcart's point about the Banu Defender being introduced here, mining. Was another factor. One of the things that I would love for us to do, and we haven't done this, and I don't know if I've seen any, but I know someone has done this before. A lot of times people will keep track of how many ships are in the game versus like how many are finished and how many aren't. But I would love to also see, especially after we watch this, how many features, because I think it's easy to feel like the game, a lot hasn't been done. But the more I'm watching this, the more I am seeing, even though I see ships being introduced, I am seeing game features being introduced or enhancements to game features being introduced. And so it'd be really interesting.
When you say that, you're going to have to distinguish between what tiers they are, too.
I just said, I just said, I see either the advancement of a feature or a new feature being introduced, right? And and to your point, I'm seeing something come in at tier 0, and I'm also seeing the improved or more updated version of it happen. So, but I am curious to see how many features get included, because a lot of times people focus in on the ships. But there is work that is being done to build out the game. Maybe it's not as much as we want, but there are game features with these different patches. Okay, let's hit 3.8.
What's cool about Alpha 3.8? New planets, new tech, new features. It's like we're exploring new frontiers here, and that's pretty cool.
Alpha 3.8. No Star Citizen in front of it. We're going to keep a score. We're going to keep a score and see how many times this happens, okay? I'm just teasing.
Okay, all right. So I'm 1, Griffin is 2.
You can see how beautiful Planet V4 looks. You don't see repetition of biomes.
I don't think there's any other game that has this range of skill.
Microtech. This is the first planet which we approached fresh with V4.
Without V4, we would not have been able to do it.
So as the Lord describes, there was a terraforming accident. Very, very cold planet.
If we actually take a look outside, there is a ground snowstorm blowing in.
Server object container streaming is an important milestone because it allows us to achieve a certain scale in the game that we weren't able to previously.
Put more content for the players to explore without being limited by server resources.
That means more planets, more moons, more content.
Melee combat does ship to 3.8.
All right, Kalrati, back to you this time. Any observation?
Yeah, definitely Microtech. But the server object container streaming, that was really exciting when they told us that it was actually coming a couple months after CitizenCon.
Yeah.
So that was super exciting. And then, of course, subsequently, just 1 point patch after, we got long-term persistence. So just those two mentionings, it was super, it was super encouraging to see that, persistence was actually becoming more and more mature. And that, at least players' actions could have continued, at least, without being wiped too often.
Yeah. FC.
This was dropped 4 days before Christmas in 2019. So when players and backers like to poke fun at CIG for dropping these things just for the holidays, they have a history of doing it. We're not making that up. But yeah, like Kalrati said, Microtech, the weather it's great seeing weather being put in the game, and it's still great to see even today. The melee fighting though, that reminds me of Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I don't know if maybe that's still my age when I say that, but that's what it reminds me of when I saw that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the crackle you're hearing might be on my end of the folks were telling me earlier that there's something going on at it. Since we're live, I can't really do a lot of tweaking because I'm too afraid I'll knock stuff out, so I'm sorry. The one thing I was going to say that I vividly remember from this patch was Planet Tech V4. That was a big one for me. There was definitely a huge difference in the visuals when we got into these planets. They stood out more. Things were just better overall. The creation of worlds just grew with this to me. So that I just remember. I remember the first time I went to Daymar back in the day, and then I remember when they implemented this, and there was just to me a dramatic difference. And it definitely kind of opened up the fact that these worlds can look very unique and very different, and you don't have to worry about like a copy and paste feeling of barren worlds. They can come up with all types of stuff. So yeah. All right, that one is 3.8. One thing I wished about the weather fast cart, and I know we're all still looking forward to it, is that it becomes a little bit more dynamic. There are some cool things that happen now when you go to distribution centers. Weather systems will come in while you're there. Sometimes it's fog, sometimes it's this really heavy, weird mist, whatever. But I wish that there was definitely global type, weather that happened in the game. Unpredictable things, storms, things of that nature. We're getting there, but I'm really looking forward to dynamic weather becoming a much bigger thing in the game.
Totally.
Yeah, let's look at 3.9.
3.9 is going to broaden the visual spectrum of Star Citizen a lot.
First moons we have built with Planetech V4 from the ground up.
You get caught, you go to jail. You can pay off your debt to society, or you can try to escape.
The capsule mission is really cool.
It's the first Tavaran ship we've seen in game.
Hunger, thirst, and extreme temperatures, it all affects you now.
We are really, really excited to see how players respond.
I'm going to jump in here for a hot second and mention something that we forgot to mention in the last patch. I forgot that in 3.8, all we got was the exterior of Microtech. We didn't have any interiors until this patch. It wasn't until this patch that we got interiors. So, Fastcart, I'll go to you first this time. Anything that stood out from you in this one?
Okay, this is April 29, 2020, so this is the start of the COVID era. One thing I will point out, they call this trailer Locked and Loaded. The trailer before this didn't have no titles. It was just called Alpha or number or Star Citizen Alpha and number. So this is called Star Citizen Alpha 3.9 Locked and Loaded. So this is when they started naming the patches. So yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah, it was just in the whole Clash experience, because that's when it kind of felt like, how should I say this? When you were sent to prison, it wasn't necessarily. It didn't really feel like much of a punishment where you just stop playing the game or so, but it actually just kind of added that sense of consequence, and I really liked that. No matter what what style of game you were playing. So just that additional kind of experience, I think, is what I was glad to receive.
And to your point, after I don't know how we missed it earlier, but they talked about the law system a couple patches back being introduced, so that Klesher did mean something, later on. Klesher still has not fleshed out to the degree that we've heard. it would be. I remember when we first went in there and we saw the boxing ring, and I was looking forward to what's going to happen in there. You know, I do remember people shanking people in the early days a lot. That was the one thing I do remember. I never got shanked, but I remember watching Captain Richard, and he was just trying to leave. You know, he was literally trying to put the last of his rocks in so he could leave, and people kept shanking him and wouldn't let him get out of the place, you know. But I do know that there have been some cool things. They've enhanced the prison and stuff, but that did get introduced. Klesher became an interesting, it still is an interesting thing. I just wish they'd build more around it with prison breaks and stuff a little bit better.
And a lot of people were looking forward to the Prowler that came in this one.
The what came?
The Prowler.
The Prowler. Yeah. The Prowler came. Yeah, absolutely. And again, that's another one of those things where something got introduced, but not in its fullest, fleshed out form. So people want that stealth kind of dropship capability to be built out. But yep, the Prowler got introduced. Okay. Alrighty, let's go to 3.10, 3.10.
We got hostiles inbound. Stay alert. We got 3 targets. Got eyes on
me. Keep the pressure on.
Starboard now. 2 down. 1 to go.
Yes, let's finish it.
There it is again, the old playable now.
Oh yeah.
All right, FC.
I think all of them are going to say playable now.
Yeah.
After that.
We'll go to you first, FC.
Okay, so this is pre-master mode when it comes to the time before master mode when the flight mechanics were changed, and I had gotten used to the old one and trying to get used to the new one. I don't know if this is hover mode. I'm not sure when that was, but yeah, they're always trying to they always are tuning the flight mechanics. So nothing new there. I did one thing I caught my eye was the rock. I'm pretty sure the rock, not the rock, DS, but yeah, just the rock. So you got a vehicle miner in this one.
Kalrati?
Yeah, the whole turret experience is what I think they've been always trying to kind of improve, especially when it came to the initial enhancements of the whole multi-crew experience. And the turret gameplay was one of the main things to kind of encourage that. So of course that has always been a continuous fight, but it was nice to see the changes that they brought about. It didn't really completely solve the whole picture, but it was a nice addition. And of course the rock, I really enjoyed using the rock for the vehicle mining, more so than the prospector. So I got my freelancer max, and I often would go to this place to get some hadanite. I can't remember. It was in the moon around Hurston, and yeah, it was a really enjoyable experience. And I did that for quite a number of patches. Aberdeen.
Cool. All right, let's check out 3.11.
I always knew there were better times too. Now you prove the point. You looked at me, 1 and 1 became 2. As we moved that joint, I do adore our family of 4, and life is simply grand. I've come alive like Jazz and 5 because you took my hand.
Okay, this one was called High Impact. Kalrati, do you think stood out about this one? Do you remember in particular?
Yeah, it was the force reactions. Every single time we came out of the bloody outpost, we'd probably die or just be sent somewhere kilometers away. So I remember those. I remember this patch very clearly. Yeah, it was force reactions, and of course, the whole quality of life when it came to the to the rock. Because if I recall, outside of the inventory that they introduced, we always would have to put it into the ship and then go to landing zone and sell it immediately. So it's not like we could have just, if I recall correctly, it's not like we could have, take out a box and then continue to mine, So that was a really good quality of life improvement because it meant that we could have just stayed out and continued to mine as long as the server remained up. So, yeah.
FC, anything you see in particular?
Yeah, this was released on my birthday, October 8th, 2020. So you gave me a birthday present. Thank you. But yeah, I thought that was a cute song that they played in this trailer commercial. They don't usually do that, but this is probably one of the first instances of a commercial song being used as far as I can remember. And the 100i, they showed that in this trailer, so that was new.
Yeah, I was going to mention the music. That was one of the things that stood out for me on this one, was they introduced this, not just this one, but there are other ones where they start coming up with music that stands out in some way, almost sometimes music that you don't even expect, but it goes with whatever the visuals are, which was pretty cool. Of course, you guys know me, Mr. Origin, 100i, the new starter ships that got introduced at this point were also cool too. I'm not sure if this was when they did any enhancements to any of the older ships, but I do know that they introduced a couple new starters at this time. But I was glad to see that they introduced the air system in the 100 series, which I still think is a good thing in this game that a lot of people aren't aware of or don't utilize. But anyway, that's it for 311. Let's look at 312.
Attention, people are standing.
Go to you first, FC, on this one.
Is this one that introduced dynamic event? You know what? Because as they said, I saw it on Stanton, so I'm guessing that's what this is. And they're talking about the new beam weapons and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if this is the beginning of the end or when beam citizens started becoming a meme. So yeah, it's quite a few things in this trailer. But yeah, this is CIG was getting better. This is a whole week before Christmas this time, so this is when they started getting better by the holiday.
Kalrati?
Yeah, so definitely Xenothreat. I really enjoyed that dynamic event so much, from the PTU straight up into live, and of course the refinery gameplay. But also interacting with other people's screens, because I think in this patch, you still had to be guarded and careful because other persons, because of building blocks, could have interacted with your screen as well. And yeah, it was Beam Citizen that started now, but it was a really cool patch overall, and I had a lot of good times playing this patch.
I don't know. Does that still? Beam Citizen came a little bit later. I think this was the first introduction of the beam. No, I mean, it was because people didn't have a problem with the beams when it came to the multi-tool.
Right.
But
it was the first thing. It was the first time.
Right. But my question to you guys is Are we able to still do that now? Because I haven't done that in forever, where you can shoot the beam and pull yourself on it.
Yeah,
it does still
definitely.
work.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, but it's only under certain things that you can do it in, right? In space, or you have to be in zero gravity to do it. Is that right?
Yeah, most things you can you could do that. I can't. So the only thing I've never tried is using it against asteroids because with the whole collision and everything.
Okay.
But most surfaces, you could actually utilize to pull
It
yourself.
still
when
does
you're
work.
in the air.
Okay, I haven't done it in so long. I just didn't remember if it still worked or not. Yeah, the dynamic event aspect of this Stanton. There was also, I think, the introduction of the Tavaran ship in there. The what's the
Talon.
The Talon and stuff got introduced around this time too. We're starting to see them expand, like you said, fastcart. They had already brought in the Prowler, and now the Talon and the Shrike come in around this time too. Okay. All right, let's hit 313 here.
Let's hope your execution matches your enthusiasm.
You muted, I think, Griff.
Yep, coming to you first this time, fastcart.
Okay, so this is the introduction of Griff's wife, Quick Pacheco. So she just introduced into the game.
Leave my wife's name out
Lucky
of your
13. Oh, I feel like I got slapped right there. Oh, that hurt. No, but the cyclone, I saw it in the middle of the beginning of the video. That was also introduced, and the Rock DS. So they had the Rock 2 patches ago, I believe, and then they introduced the Rock DS in this patch. So yeah, interesting. And this is April 2021.
Kalrati?
Yeah, so I think if I recall, this was either the first patch or the second patch to experience Invictus. I can't remember entirely, or it was the one that came after. But also, it was really interesting. I didn't really play too differently during this patch. One thing I did try to experience though was the vehicle cave. One in particular that was on Daymar, because I was always thinking about, okay, I discovered one near the Kujo ore mining outpost, the closed one, and it was a vehicle mining cave there. And it was really nice because it kind of made me think about, okay, some underground facilities or underground outposts that could exist, because it was multi-layered. So it was really cool having some dynamic gameplay there, because sometimes you would see, other players just camping there if you actually went to discover it. So it was really nice to experience all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
One other thing, the reputation system, they mentioned that. So yeah.
Yep. I think also with the underground stuff, this is when we started getting some of those missions that were underground, where you had bad guys hiding out down there, where you had to kill them. They show this ship of the Mercury coming in and out of the mines, so a lot of people were really kind of curious about being able to fly down. I don't know, are they showing the mole because the mole got introduced at this time, or was the mole around already? Because
I don't know about that one, but if you got me, that's why I didn't mention it.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember if the mole got introduced around this time or whether it was there already.
I can look it up.
The other thing that I like in here, I gotta wait till the screen comes up. There's the ship-to-ship docking. Something that those of us who own Connies have been waiting on for forever. Seeing that little snub ship attached in the back and never being able to do anything other than just raise the the glass and sit down, and finally we were able to undock those ships and use them. which was just great to finally see that happen. So, and more promising for any other type of ship-to-ship docking later in the game. So, was very excited to see that in this one. Okay.
I'm looking up the mole. I'm trying to see. It was concept in 2019. I'm trying to see when it came out.
Then that means it probably came out around this time if it was concepted, because this video came out when?
April. Oh, hold on.
Of what?
This is April 2021.
Okay. So yeah.
That concept in 2019.
Okay. Right.
So probably
So yeah, probably when the mole came out.
Yeah, because they highlighted in here with the mining. Okay, let's look at 314.
Attention please. The criminal gang known as the Ninetails have launched an illegal blockade of one of the sector stations. Crusader Security is calling upon any trained security professionals in the area to assist. Stand by for further announcements.
Welcome to Orison, or whatever you want to call it. Kalrati, we'll go to you
that was the joke I was
first.
gonna do.
We'll go to you
I was gonna
first.
make that joke.
Kalrati, what you got?
Yeah, so two things. On the PTU for this patch, this was when we got an idea of FPS ping. So the same ship ping, but it was really cool to get to kind of be able to activate the ping using FPS. Of course, it didn't say, but also another special thing that came into this patch. It wasn't entirely confirmed, but it was the precursor to the next big one. This was when they moved from the legacy cache to the persistence cache in preparation for, well, iCache, right? So this was an interesting one because at least in the early part for P2U, it was more so a roller coaster than in terms of stability compared to the previous patches, because things were getting better. And then at some point when we speculate they introduced the new P cache, things just took a rock bottom. And at some point, P2 testers started to experience what Evo testers were experiencing in terms of stability. So it was an interesting patch, and of course the Ninetales lockdown, that was really crazy too.
FC?
Yeah, Taurus had been hangar ready for ages before this, but this is the first time it's been flight ready. So the Taurus, a lot of people were looking forward to that. I had that in my hangar for ages. It's my physical package patch in 2014. So yeah, I've been looking forward to the Taurus coming out. And this is also like welcome to Horizon. I had to get that joke in, even though Griffin beat me to it. But bad frame rate. Everybody remember when he landed on OS and Horizon, and he had all the cloud tech and everything. Had to turn off or make the cloud less high definition or lower the graphics quality in your game in order to get better frame rate for this one. So, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I went to Horizon, I didn't have problems with that. What I had problems with though was desync. I had problems where if I was there with somebody, you know, I think they tell me I'm standing right in front of you and they'd be a little bit further behind and they catch up. But I never really suffered. I know everybody had different, you know, responses to when they got there. What I do want to say about Horizon, since you said that, fastcart, though, is that Horizon was and still is technically amazing. I think it's as I'm watching these videos now, I'm becoming more and more aware of how we've gotten used to things that used to be jaw dropping for us. You know, being able to walk onto your ship used to be jaw dropping. You know, going to Horizon and seeing a city in the clouds used to be jaw dropping. But we've gotten so used to this cool stuff that we've also forgotten, you know, when these things got introduced, you know, how much they pushed the game forward. And I know for some people, they may feel like, well, yeah, it's all just visuals and it's not about the game content. And I understand that, but I'm also understand, at least I feel that the playground is just as important as the play. And I really want my playground to be someplace that visually I want to come back to and see, as well as play in. And so I'm just kind of looking at what they've done, you know, going from Hurston to ArcCorp, and then Microtech, and now Orison. Now we're going into other systems, and I'm really curious to see how much more they're going to push, because I want that same awe. I mean, it's not going to happen on every planet and every moon, but man, I do want to, you know, feel that, and I don't ever want to get so used to it that I think that it's, unless I go play something else, then I'll realize, oh my God, you know, these guys have taken this game so far, you know. But it's easy to miss these advances and what they've done in the game. So welcome to Horizon, Orison.
Yeah, one thing I will say, they showed the Mercury, I believe. So this might have been when the Mercury would release.
No, they showed the Mercury in the video before this. Remember, coming out of the cave.
Oh, coming out of the cave. Okay. Well, they showed it for like 5 seconds. Thought that was something special about that. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we got a lot more videos to cut through, so we're going to try to chop through these a little bit faster, gang, because we're at 16 and we got to get to 23. So let's go ahead and hit that one next.
You suffered a catastrophic injury, but you're okay now. Now don't rush anything. You're free to go when you feel comfortable.
Okay, FC, go to you first.
This is the introduction of the most powerful ship in the game, the A2. Also, along with the AI, with the pointed eyes. So that was the thing. I guess it's the year of the 404 was in April, and then they came out with this. So this is November 2021. So this is just before IAE. So yeah, quite a few things. Oh, and medical. So yeah. People could drug you without your permission, and Mrs. Stone at the beginning before they passed that. But yeah.
Okay, Kalrati.
Yeah, to FG's point, I remember when I think it was a whole crew of us at the station. It was me, Jade, and then so many persons. And then this person tried actually drugging one of us, and we all ganged up on him, and we took his body. And of course, I don't remember if we had soft death at the time, but yeah, we just drugged him. We just got our vengeance, and of course, we had iCache in 315, and that changed the game when it came to inventory, localized inventory. So that was really cool to experience as well. And of course, we had the spawn closets, so that kind of introduced the whole NPC scheduling in some small way, but it was a meaningful way to give us an idea of how these NPCs may be coming to these locations for the missions from time to time as certain gameplay events would take their places.
I think for me, the bunkers, obviously those missions started kicking in, which was pretty good. Also, fastcart, you mentioned about the ships that got introduced into this, but for me, the big thing was medical gameplay. On occasion, you do wake up in a hospital and there is an attendant working there at the console, but I wish that some of the stuff that they showed here was existent, because it does make the game feel good. I like when I wake up and I look up and there's a nurse or a doctor at that console working when I come in. Just something as simple as that. They also introduced the different levels here. You see the limping, different levels of injuries, which we do have in the game now. So that stuff was something that was very cool. And of course, looting, which was something that a lot of people were waiting on. So, okay, let's go ahead and hit number 316. We're going to keep chopping through.
Take me back to the river, wash away my sins. Take me back to the river, Lord, won't you help me find my way back home.
FC, going to you on this one first.
Maria Pure of Heart, Area 18 Hospital, I believe. So yeah, that was introduced. Cutlass Steel, or as I like to call it, the Cutlass West, because I'm still hoping you will put out the Cutlass West, just because they just have to. But yeah, I think the most important point of this was Jumptown 2.0 when they tried to recreate the magic and what was the original Jumptown.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah, if I recall, this was the first time the Montreal team at Turbulent, we saw, what they could do with the environments and the missions with the derelict, with the new derelicts.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool to see the demonstration of what they could do. And I think, given that they were demonstrating the hover bikes, of course, they made some improvements to the hover system, so that was really fun as well. Because before it was still a bit tricky. However, it made it a bit too, on rails from time to time, but overall it was nice. And of course, like FC said, the Cutlass Steel, that was quite an interesting introduction.
Yeah. My piece will be on the Gravlev in particular. I just want to kind of parallel something here. There's a lot of frustration with what's going on with Gravlev from its original concept and what we have gotten, but I almost want to say that it's the same mirroring image that we have for Flight Model too. Just like they've wrestled with the Flight Model, they've wrestled with Gravlev, and hopefully we'll see it get even better than what it is. It's okay, but we know that it can be better, and I'm hoping CIG develops it even more. There's a lot in relation to vehicle mobility for me that I wonder about. You know, we had the show last week called The Rule of Cool, talking about motorcycles in the future. And we pretty much voted on the fact that it's just cool. It's not necessarily, we're not testing the practical side of it, but we think it's cool. But with the Grab Lab aspect, though, I do want to see a little bit more of the technology be a little bit more balanced in that. Again, fastcart, you mentioned about the new hospitals too. That was important to see incorporated into the game. So, all right, let's hit through.
And I forgot to,
yeah,
real quick, I forgot to mention this is 3 days before Christmas, so CIG far behind a little bit, but yeah, 3 days before Christmas on this one.
Okay, all right. 317. Oh, by the way, the music in that one was cool. Back to the River music was cool.
Yes. Okay.
Kalrati, on you. Make Monet.
Yeah, shake up the haters with a smile and say, oh, I think this is, I don't know who or if the person was different that they actually brought on, but I think that this is where they started to kind of, I wouldn't say move away from the traditional kind of, star or space music, but it became a lot more exciting, I would say. And I guess, just the whole environment, I think it suited it really, really well because it was really dynamic. It was really exciting. Just being able to make different kinds of, make money in different kinds of ways, right? So it was really exciting to see different ways they could have actually done that, made some improvements to mining and all those things. So it was really nice to experience this patch. It was really cool to experience the refueling for the first time as well. It's too bad that we're not using it as much these days, but once again, these things will experience their own kind of improvements eventually. And of course, the Hull A, it still remains one of my most favorite ships, especially for 324. For those who have Hull A's, you'll see why. But we're not a 324 yet. But yeah, it was a really, really exciting patch.
FC.
River attack, and at the end of the video, you see that ship in the middle of the lake. I thought that was cool, and yeah, the music is a lot more lively comparatively to previous videos, so that was cool. Also, they got the Louisville Hospital. I don't think that was mentioned yet, so that's also cool. But yeah, the whole A was probably my favorite highlight for this patch.
Okay. Yeah, for me, they do show the refueling, which, God, you're right. We were so excited about it. I've been disappointed that it's broken because there have been times we wanted to go out and do just some stuff with refueling, and it's not there. It was working for a period of time, then it got broken. And CIG, hey, we got folks out there that want to do that stuff. Please put it in. Hull A, something we waited for a very long time. The prototype to get ready for the Hull C, B, D, and E. So very excited about them getting that whole grid system together for that. But the overall theme in this one seemed to me, a lot of it was about being able to make money, all the various ways that you could do that, selling things at kiosks, things of that nature. So that was pretty exciting too. So that's that one on 317. Let's do, this one has interesting, there's a 317.2 video that they made.
Yep.
All right, kind of a little bit of a shorter video, but some cool stuff being tossed in there. Kalrati, we'll go to you on this one first.
Yeah, I definitely have to touch on Siege of Orison. I really enjoyed it. Of course, this is the first time, and it had its its teething issues, some room for improvement. But for group gameplay, it was a lot of fun for me, and it was definitely a good shift away from the other space-based dynamic event. And of course, we had Jumptown before, but this felt like a more complete package in terms of the FPS experience that I was looking for. So Siege of Orison, definitely props to them for implementing that. Of course, the performance was a bit hitchy, but once again, those things are experiencing improvements as time goes along. But yeah.
Okay. FC?
I guess I'm gonna have to concede to Griffin because they always put Star Citizen at the top and then Alpha and the number afterwards ever since that one time. So yeah, Griffin, I concede to you. You won this battle.
No,
but
and I concede
this
to
is
you that
July
gamers
of
don't read,
2020.
so I'm with you.
July of 2022, and the Centurion was released. That's the vehicle that was released in this one. Talk about beacons also, so people can pick people up and stuff like that. So, yeah, and this is, I want to say, the only time they put out a trailer for a point patch, a 0.2 patch, especially. So, yeah.
For me, I hate to say this, CIG, as much as I love you, this patch has so much great stuff that is busted.
Yep.
The settlements, fabulous idea. People want to go there, and you go there and the NPCs are standing or they don't spawn in. Black Kite mission, the one mission that actually does work. I've enjoyed the Black Kite mission, but it's only that one mission that's there. The AI who are supposed to show up when we land at certain locations, they'll fly in, but then the AI don't get off the ship. I mean, such cool stuff to look forward to in this patch, but just didn't work and still doesn't work. So, man, if we could get those things going, it would just feel so good. Because when the AI are on, they are on. They really are. But I know we're getting over some technological leaps, but so much cool stuff introduced here, but also a lot of it just not working, and it's so frustrating. The settlements are so cool. I went there once and they were actually walking around and doing stuff, and it felt like it was alive. But you go there now, and I hate to say it, there's more than one Ghost Hollow in this game, and it's all the settlements. They're ghost towns.
Yeah.
They need to come alive. Those settlements need to come alive. So, okay, 318, Infamous.
Cue horror music.
Vai dizer que não me quer, jurar que nunca mais se deita aqui chorando até de manhã. Me perdoa, meu amor, me chama pelo coração. Vai, me pede pra voltar. Não posso mais viver sem teu sorriso iluminando a manhã. Me perdoa, meu amor, me beija com sabor de quem nunca esqueceu. Vai, me pede pra voltar. Não posso mais viver sem teu sorriso iluminando a manhã. Me perdoa, meu amor, me beija,
FC, coming to you first.
I mean, they put everything they had in the video in this path at the end of the video, so not much for me to say.
Which I wish that they would do more.
Yeah,
I wish they do that more. You know what I mean? At the end of the video, to outline all that stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I wish they do it too. Yeah, but the racetrack, that's interesting. That brought a whole new dynamic for racing in the game, and a lot of people appreciate it. The salvaging, I don't know which tier. I'm getting confused in my tiers, but it's another level of salvaging that they introduced in this pack. And this is March of 2023, so we're getting close to a present time. And it's just in the streaming, a big thing in this one. That was a long time in testing and Evocati, I believe.
Don't worry about hitting it all, because we got to cut the time down. So just give me a few.
Okay. Okay, so Picos everywhere. I'll end on that. Picos are everywhere.
Okay. Kalrati?
Yeah, I definitely remember how many things were left behind because of persistence. You know, they literally turned it on, and you know, all the ships that were unclaimed and such. That's definitely something that I remember that I won't forget.
Amidst all the cool things, and fastcart highlighted, there's a lot of stuff here that's in this patch. It's too bad that those things somewhat got overshadowed by the technical hitch that happened at 3.18. And it's kind of more memorized or remembered because of people not being able to play the game. And it was because all these cool features were here and people wanted to be able to dive in. And some people got in day one, some people didn't get in until 2 months later. Very, very frustrating period of time, and understandably so. But a lot of it, when you watch this trailer, you can understand what it was that people saw all this and couldn't take advantage of it. So it was very frustrating. But thankfully, a lot of this stuff is in the game now, and we do get to enjoy it now. I think fastcart, when you mentioned about the salvaging, I think this is when salvaging got introduced into the game, when the Vulture came in. So this was our first taste of it being activated in game. We didn't have salvage, I don't think, before this. So I think that's why that was popped up as one of the features that came up. But those were all cool things. Okay, let's go. We're going to jump into 3.19. We're going to leave all the darkness of 3.18. Okay, FC, going to you first this time.
We tried really quick. Invictus launch week, May 23, last year, so it's almost a year ago exactly. And I'll pay particular attention to the level upgrade, so that was much needed and much appreciated by the community.
Kalrati?
Yeah, just to touch on that, the Invictus, I think this was the first time since the introduction of Invictus that, you know, things didn't break completely, because we know that even with iCache, it was really, it still didn't hold up. So with PES and, you know, and the replication layer and such, this was, I think, arguably the first time things were able to still sustain itself to some manageable degree. And of course, the new salvaging missions, I played salvaging extensively because of that. So it was really, really cool to see that come online.
For me, definitely, I was noticing about being able to detach and remove weapons from ships when people wanted to be able to do that. That tech was being brought in. Ghost Hollow, which is a a good mission. When Ghost Hollow runs well, it can be very challenging when you go there. And then last but not least, there was something fastcart said that I thought was really cool too. The new player experience was enhanced at that time as well, for players. God, what was it? It was something important. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, fastcart, you said it. Loreville. This was like the second or third iteration of them doing a big pass over a city. But this time, the expansion of Loreville, as much as I'm not crazy about Loreville, it's beautiful. And even now, when you go and fly into Loreville now, it is amazing to come into Loreville now. And I can't wait till they do the same thing with ArcCorp. But they've already done some enhancements, but I want to see even more in the future. We're going to go to 320. We're almost there, gang. Hang in there with us. Kalrati, go to you. Fully loaded.
Yeah. Of course, the whole thing around that patch was mainly the Halsey, but I'll let FC talk about that part. Going to the Arena Commander experience, of course, we got the Pirate Swarm change where the conclusion was, the whole Javelin and the Idris. So that was cool. It didn't really work 100% all the time, but it was nice to experience that. But overall, I really did like, the improvements to the racing, especially. And I didn't think I would enjoy Tonk Royale a lot, but I really, 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 really liked that whole deathmatch and the team deathmatch with that whole gameplay. And of course, Miners Lament for Arena Commander Racing. I just absolutely loved that track.
FC.
Yeah, this is September 2023, so 9 months ago. I still say the whole sea is too agile for a ship that size, but hey, I'm not a game developer, so I'll let it go. I'll try to let it go. No, I won't. AC, the Arena Commander revamp. Yes, that was a big highlight for me. Especially like all the racing and everything that was updated, so that was cool. I like the dichotomy of this trailer. You had the combat and you had the hauling, so I thought that was cool.
I got a question for you. Have you flown the whole sea recently? Or are you going by the trailer?
Not recently, no. But I thought when it came out, when for this patch, it was too agile.
No, it does not fly like that. Trust me.
Master Modes has tamed it.
Yeah, it is not agile anymore.
Yeah, but you gotta agree, when it first came out, it was like, hey, this thing is way spent on a ton of the dime.
I don't know. It's got some pretty decent engines on the back of it. I don't know, but I get what you're saying. But no, it does. It feels like it has some weight to it now. For me, yes, the whole sea, much anticipated ship. The lore of it being one of the most used ships in the universe and being able to finally be able to do large scale cargo for me as a player is really, really cool. And the Arena Commander, the introduction of expansion on racing, which is, like you said, Kalrati, surprisingly has just blown up. People are really into it. It started out as something as simple as the Daymar Rally and maybe a couple other things, is now blown into a really big community within the Star Citizen community. So, all right, 321. Mission ready, guys. Mission ready. FC coming to you on this one.
This is the CitizenCon patch, October 2023, and the A1 was introduced. And yeah, I'm going to leave it at that because we're running a long time.
That's okay. You can go ahead and give us one more. What else?
Well, I had a great time in CitizenCon, so I think that's the big highlight for me right there. But as far as the patch goes, yeah, that's all I got. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Kalrati?
Yeah, the Repel raid missions are what I played extensively when they came online. I have to admit, I haven't played the consignment missions a lot, but those Repel raid Orison missions have been, when it came out, it was really, really enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Got great loot from that, and definitely, yeah.
Absolutely. To complement fastcart's point, the A1 being introduced, the Cutter, one of the more popular starter ships, got introduced in this period of time too. At that same CitizenCon, whatever it was they introduced it at, I don't remember. But anyway, the Cutter became very popular. These Repel missions on Orison, all the platform missions were great. We forgot to mention earlier, a couple patches back, they showed the missions at Korea. The revamping of Korea was also something that became a big thing for the game. And this last part, consignment missions, when they work, they're enjoyable. But they get buggy, unfortunately. Yeah, that's that for that one for 321. Okay. And let's see, last but not least, we got two more to go. 322. A lot of stuff in this video. Kalrati, I'm gonna go to you first this time around. Give me your runs on this one.
Yeah, the new salvage missions, I totally killed those, especially since they were a little too profitable. But my area was Arkel 3, Michael 4, and Hersenel 5, which to this day I don't know why not many people go in those areas. I mean, hey, but yeah, those style of missions coming online, it was so enjoyable. I made so much profit, and overall it was really nice experiencing a new kind of mission from salvaging.
Okay. Yeah, one more. Give me one more because there's a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, sure. So the hairstyles, I think that's when they first introduced it. And of course, this came prior to the new character customization system.
Let's mention this was post CitizenCon, if I'm remembering correctly, right, guys?
Oh,
so
yeah.
This would have been stuff that some of these items were things that we were looking forward to from that. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the last thing was the new development. Well, the new outposts. I do admit that at this point, I didn't explore them. However, it was really exciting to see that they were coming online, and I just hope that, like you said, Griff, they add more value and more uniqueness to each of these individual places.
FC.
This was released 11 days before Christmas, or CID tried to get better again. The X1. So a lot of people were looking forward to this ship from the concept. Canard and everything. They had a little debate about that. But yeah, the hair customizer, the hair tech and the hair customizer, that was a big thing for this one. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, definitely being the origin person, the X1 finally, the final of the bikes that we had been seeing for a while, and the fact that it got to be accompanied with the 400i, I love that whole thing. I joke around about people love putting bikes on there, but I just love the fact that that was part of their marketing for that. The Suntucky I also showed up at this point too, which was another ship that I was very excited about, more alien related ships. And again, the delivery of some of these items post CitizenCon, to me, the oil rig landing area, stuff like that, was just kind of cool things to see them start to implement into the game. There was a lot of skepticism after CitizenCon of when we see it, and it was nice to see that they started to push some things out right after CitizenCon. So that's it. All right, and last but not least, our final video for the night. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're going to hit this one, 323. FC.
A whole lot of stuff in this one. I'm glad they put it at the end, like that. Like you said, they should do that more often. The customizer really came into its own in this one. I made a mistake in the previous patch. They actually added more hair, but this is when the customizer really came into its own. This is May 10th, 2024. So that's 2 months ago. So but yeah, animals, copians, and the Mohawk, and improved water. So those will be my highlights.
Okay. Kalrati.
Yeah, honestly, I would have to admit that this was the first time I started making more of a conscious effort to wear clothing and wear less of an undersuit and those things. And I've been really proud of, being able to retain my character, my Valerian character, speaking of which, House of the Dragon tonight, people. And yeah, it was really nice to actually get that new character customizer online, the new EVA system, and personally, most importantly, the new inventory system. I've been really enjoying that difference.
Boy, a lot, like you said, fastcart, a lot of stuff in here. For me, I have to say overall, it's the delivery again from things we saw in CitizenCon. They show the star map in here. They show the water effects in here. There's just a lot of different elements of things that we saw. Vulcan renderer was in here, it says. There's just a lot of different items that got put into this particular patch. Obviously, seeing fauna come into the game, which is something that people have been looking forward to for a long time. So I want to go back to something that fastcart said a second ago, which was this right here. And it's the fact that he's saying, wishing that they would do this. And I think it's important that they do this. Some of this, yes, is visual. Some of it is actually game mechanic. But we do want to see when something's new or when something is streamlined or improved or better. I think it does give us some substance to see that there is progress going with the development of the game. And there's a lot of stuff up there right now. So
yeah, I forgot to mention the Pulse, the new vehicle.
Yeah, the Pulse. Yeah, even though I will admit, I don't think I see too many people jump on their bike and and I got to say, distribution centers, huge.
Yes.
For those of you who are going into 324, you're going to start finding out why distribution centers really are meaningful in relation to our normal places that we've been loading and unloading things. Those pieces are going to start coming together in 324 big time. Amen, Kalrati.
Amen to that.
And new star map that was in there. So yeah.
Yep.
Whole lot of stuff.
A lot of good stuff in there. A lot of good stuff. Okay. Alrighty. Well, you guys have sat through this with us, and we appreciate you guys sitting through this. We had a lot of stuff in the show today. Hopefully it brought back some old memories, and maybe there were some videos in here that either you skipped or missed or never even knew existed, especially the ones we showed earlier in the game, because there was a lot that we showed you guys. But hopefully this kind of helps you see some of the progression of the development of the game, but there's still a lot that needs to be done. Okay. Alrighty, let's talk about what we've got coming up. Fastcart, let's talk about Thursday.
Yeah, playable now, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UTC. Soul Talk, we talk Star Citizen, members of the community. We cover stuff from ISC and Star Citizen Live, if it's available. And we cover with this weekend Star Citizen. So come on in, just at your time to come talk with us and with the community about what's going on. You share your thoughts. So they Soul Talk Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. Also, we do have a couple of questions. I guess we should have. I think we had a couple in there. I think we do. Am I wrong?
I didn't have it up. I got we got one question.
Just one. Okay.
This is from Pop and Face. Which trailer is your favorite and why? Ooh, which trailer is your favorite and why?
Anybody who want to go with one?
I'm trying to think.
I would say T15 mainly because of the music. That was just capturing for me.
Yeah. Okay. FC, you got one that was your favorite?
Ah, man. Trailer. I'm gonna
17.
Let's say the Mercury Star Runner, the Rebirth cinematic. I know it's not a trailer, but yeah, I'll go with that for now.
Okay. And for me, 318. Again, I felt like that one really got lost because of the technical issues we had, but I think that there were a lot of great features in there that eventually people started to appreciate, but they wanted to see, and they just didn't get to see it when it got pushed out. That was kind of a sad thing, but that's fine. Thanks, Pops. Thanks for that question. Good stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Kalrati, let's talk about next Saturday.
Yeah, so next Saturday we talk about a game that is being tested, even though it's playable now, where we dive into Soul Voices, where we pull questions and concerns, discussions from the community. We look at Spectrum posts, Reddit posts, and we invite you to come on and share your thoughts, share your opinions. And yeah, we're always happy to help you. And this precedes, what does it precede, Griffin?
Yeah, that'll be next week, next Saturday. And last but not least, next Sunday, we're going to be doing a show called Building the Economy. We're going to go back and look at the original design docs for what the economy in Star Citizen is supposed to be about, but also talk about things that recently on ISC and SCL they've been talking about with the economy team. Stuff from Tony Zurvik. We're going to talk a little bit about Quanta, all that stuff. And the new name for it, there's a new name actually they have for the economy stuff too that they're going to be talking about. So that's going to be next week. If you're into the whole idea of trade and money and profiting and all that good stuff, we're going to be talking about what it takes to be able to, and what are the things you're going to need to spend UEC on in the Star Citizen universe. So that's going to be next week. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us here tomorrow, next week rather, at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Not tomorrow.
Yeah, not tomorrow. Yeah, I'm so used to my Saturday thing saying tomorrow. Okay, well, we are getting ready to get you guys set up a raid. We are going to go send you guys over to, let's see, we're going to send you over to our good friend TV Liquid. TV's on right now, and he is doing a giveaway tonight. So when you guys get over there, take a look at TV, see if you like what you like, and if you do, let him know that you came over from the Soul Citizens. I want to give a special thanks to Kalrati and to fastcart. A lot of watching and a lot of viewing tonight, and a lot of crunching in time. 29 videos tonight, if I'm not mistaken. 23, 29. I don't know. There's a lot of videos. But
is that all?
I know.
I can go for more.
I know. But thank you guys also for hanging in there with us tonight. We really appreciate you guys as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on our social media. I think did we cross the 3,000 mark, fastcart? I don't know. I didn't look and see.
Almost there.
Almost there. Okay, maybe next week. We'll do it by the end of July. We'll hit our 3,000 mark on Twitch. All right, but anyway, we're going to send you guys over to TV Liquid. As always, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and peace, love, and soul. Take care. Bye.